So it's been a while before Skullcandy has actually updated the original Crushers, and these are called 540 Active. They're a brand new version. They just came out a couple of days ago, and I'm gonna tell you my experience with them because I don't think they're actually for everybody. They're pretty much a niche product. First, if you don't know what Crushers are, they're a specific line of Skullcandy that's focused on bass. But it's not just any bass. They have something called haptic bass. And the reason it's called that is because it actually vibrates. It has a special lever on the side where you can tune whether you want more or less bass. And it's actually pretty powerful. I mean, it's not the most audiophile bass, if that makes sense, but it is like having maybe a boombox next to your ears and with a pair of closed back headphones. So it's pretty specific to this product. As far as I know, it's a patent technology, so not everybody can use it. That's why you only find it in the Crusher lineup. But as it is with all products, patents eventually die off, so I think it's just a matter of time before we see more mainstream brands actually using this technology. But for now, it's something very specific for the Skullcandy Crushers. Their focus has never been audiophile grade audio. They've never been focused for gaming. They've never been focused for having balanced audio. Just crazy, extortionist bass. But I do think there's a place for me to actually enjoy these and listen to them because I love the Crusher lineup. I do like it being a specific product, and I like that crazy bass. But again, it's not for everybody. So if you're already decided you like that crazy bass and these might actually be for you, well, there are other two products that Skullcandy has in the Crusher lineup. One of them is the Crusher 2A and C, which are the ones that have active noise cancellation, and also the Crusher Evo, which we're gonna mention in a couple more minutes. But first, what do these actually do and what are their specs? Well, their specs are 40 hours of continuous playing, more or less, depending if you have the bass up, depending on the volume you're listening to, all that type of things. But they do have a good battery life and actually pretty much better than what you find on most Bose headphones and also most Sony XM headphones. No matter which year they are or what version, these might actually have a better battery life, which is not bad. Inside the box, you can also find the 3.5 jack cable, so you can use them wiredly or you can use them through Bluetooth, whatever you want. You can also find a USB-C type cable to USB-A, which is weird in 2025. Everything should be C to C, but that's just the way I think. And they do have fast charging included as well. So you can get quite a couple of hours of only 10 minutes of charge. Again, not bad. On the headphones themselves, you can find physical controls. These are not touch sensitive and have no type of touch controls. Now, what makes these 540 different to the other lineups of Crushers is so simple that it actually blows my mind. It took them so much time to develop this and actually bring it out into the market. And that is the ear cups. The ear cups are not made of leather, they're not made of plastic, they're not made of any type of velour. These are just regular cloth, which is a good thing because these headphones are actually focused towards fitness. Yeah, Skullcandy says they have sweat and water resistant, but there is a big caveat with that claim, and that is that Skullcandy is not actually giving you a specific IPX rating, which in a product of this type and the price it has, they should. Also, because of warranty concerns, I would like a specific IPX rating. But the only thing we know is that Skullcandy says they are sweat and water resistant, so they're actually meant for you to work out with them. But what's actually the experience when you work out with these? Well, I would say they're actually pretty comfortable, unless you want to run with them or do any type of movements towards running, jumping, or that type of thing. I really wouldn't use any type of full band or full over-ear headphones for running. I do believe you just need to wear earbuds. You have to deal with it, and it's the most comfortable way to listen to music while you're working out if you're running or anything like that. But if you want to try it, go right ahead. I don't like it because they start bouncing eventually and the headband starts getting a little bit more loose. Where I actually enjoyed these the most was in the gym. Working out, it's pretty comfortable, they don't move. It's actually very easy to clean the ear cups, and taking the ear cups off is pretty easy. But putting them back on can be quite a bit annoying. It's not impossible. It might not even be a deal breaker for a lot of people, but it's not as easy when you take them off than putting them back on. It's just weird. It has this like slap mechanism where you have to aim towards a specific gap inside the headphones, push inside, and make them fit perfectly. But this would be a lot easier if you just slap a pair of magnets on these and make them like what the AirPods Max have. I don't think it's that expensive, but again, it's just me talking and thinking around shit like I always do. But even if you're a crusher lover, I believe these are not for everybody and you don't necessarily need them in your collection. That's because the ear cups themselves also have a big caveat, and that is that they don't isolate absolutely anything. Compared to leather ear cups, these don't isolate that much. So if you want to wear them on the plane, they're going to be pretty annoying because they really don't isolate that much. You're probably going to pump up that volume more than you should. And also, if you're in a very noisy place, it's something I wouldn't recommend whatsoever. If you're at a gym, I think it's okay. I don't think you should be at a gym completely isolated. Just in case somebody drops a dumbbell, you have to jump, you have to move. In case the fire alarm goes off or even the seismic alarm for where I live, I think you should always be a little bit aware of what you're around, especially when you're working with heavy machinery or even weights. So I don't consider it being a bad thing that they don't fully isolate when you're working out with them. But if you want them for traveling, if you want them for very noisy environments, these are not the way to go. You should actually consider two of the other options, the Skullcandy Crusher ANC2s or the Skullcandy Crusher Evo. Both of those isolate way better. And there's also another thing that the ear cups do that's not precisely good, and that is the bass doesn't sound that tight or that clean, because them being only cloth lets the bass go outside the earbuds and it feels just a little bit more rattly, a little bit more open compared to the Skullcandy Crusher Evo. So yes, I know this is going to be a question in the comments. Which one is better, the Skullcandy Crusher Evo or the Skullcandy Crusher Active? We're just going to call them Active because the 540 is just stupid. I don't like it. So the Skullcandy Crusher Active have not as good audio quality compared to the Skullcandy Crusher Evo, and that's because of the ear cups and the isolation and just the general nature of this product. But they do have the advantage that Skullcandy says they are sweat and water resistant, so it depends absolutely on what you want. I think these are a great pair for the gym, but I don't think they're an everyday or every solution pair compared to other products out there, even in their own lineup, which is Skullcandy Crusher. I believe the Skullcandy Crusher Evo, which are my favorite, are way more versatile option. They don't have ANC, but in my opinion, they really don't need it because the ear cups themselves isolate pretty good. But if you think that's not enough, you do still have the option of going for the Skullcandy Crusher ANC2. So I would only use these for working out. So that's why I think they're only a niche product for people that want crushers and that want them only for working out. That's why I don't believe these are for everybody. They also have an expensive price tag in my opinion. I believe it's a little bit high for what they are. You can find them anywhere between $180 and $200. And for that price, you can start going a little bit more premium in wireless Bluetooth headphones. Just my opinion, just what I've tested around. But still, I do think they're good for some people. And if you're that person, well, drop a comment below if you would purchase these, you're interested in them, or maybe you already have them. And if you're new around here, well, maybe don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment. Anything helps us out quite a bit. And also, make sure you check out this video over here, which I think you might like as well.